Joining me now is Congressman Gresham Barrett. He represents the 3rd District of South Carolina. Congressman, welcome to News Talk 1110 WBT. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Pete, and my Clemson Tigers are winning right now, so so far so good.
Okay, well, I'll try not to keep you too long from the game then, sir. So let's get to it. You introduced a measure today on the regarding the TARP, which I find to be the appropriately named TARP. It's kind of the sheet that you throw over the carcass of capitalism. I kid. But the 300, there's some money left that Congress has to, I guess, still clear, and you don't want to let that money go just yet.
That's right. As you well know, Pete, the TARP is the Troubled Asset Relief Plan, and the last $350 billion that actually Bush asked for, President-elect then Obama asked President Bush to put the request in, and he said we want to get this last 350, and my amendment or my motion to recommit, Pete, was very simple. It just said let's just stop. We are not in the crisis that we were. I mean, we still got some difficult times out there, but let's stop. Let's figure out exactly what happened to this first 350. Let's make sure it's working before all of a sudden we delve into this next $350 billion. I mean, just because we authorize this money doesn't mean we have to spend it. So let's just take our time. Let's figure out what we're doing. Unfortunately, my measure failed, and it looks like the Treasury's going to get this next 350.
So what is a motion to recommit?
What it did, it would have taken the bill and sent it back to committee, and just temporarily put it on hold, Pete. And I know that's kind of inside the baseball thing, but it would have given us some time to convene a committee hearing to talk about exactly what happened to the first 350 to see if it was being effective. There's a lot in this bill, about $100 billion on foreclosure mitigation to try to keep people in their homes. Listen, we haven't found a program yet that works, but yet there's $100 million to try to figure this out. So all we're just trying to say is, let's stop. Let's seriously put some thought into this before we leap off the bridge.
It's kind of the spaghetti method, which is you just throw enough stuff against the wall and maybe something will stick, I guess. But,
there's a lot of truth in that, and we know for a fact that the Feds have put about $2.5 trillion in the economy, so liquidity is out there. One of the biggest things that has really affected this economy and will continue to affect this economy, Pete, is nothing that the government sector is doing. It's gasoline coming down from $4 a gallon to $1.50 a gallon. That has infused about $350 billion into the economy that hits every socioeconomic strata that's out there. Whether you're making $10 million a year or whether you're making minimum wage, if you're traveling somewhere, you're paying $1.50 a gallon gas. So what we're trying to do, there's a group of Republicans that are trying to look at what we need to do long term to get this economy ginned up again. And it's not a stimulus package like it's coming to the floor in the next couple of weeks to the tune of $825 billion. It's not an additional $350 billion in TARP. It's cutting the capital gains tax. It's cutting the marginal rates to 15 and 28% for the average person. It's making the Bush tax cuts permanent. It's cutting the corporate tax rate. This allows people to keep their hard-earned money in their pocket and incentivizes them to buy a new truck, to hire a new employee, to add on to their business. That's what we need to be about the business of doing.
Let me ask you to the point of the stimulus package.
Yeah.
How does the Republican Party make a contrarian argument without being cast or being perceived to be obstructionist, given the what appears to be the public sentiment in favor of the Democrats and the new president? How do you make your case without seeming like you're just an obstructionist?
Well, a couple of ways. Number one, you look at the figures. Roughly about I think roughly $65 to $71 billion is actually infrastructure, roads, water, and sewer. The rest of it is a Christmas tree. I mean, it talks about the endowment for the arts. It talks about student loans. I mean, and some of this stuff is wonderful stuff, you know. But is that really economic stimulus package? There is actually $600 million in there to get ready for a national health care system. Now, it says it in the bill. $600 million to get ready for a national health care system. The latest I saw is we haven't even started that national health care debate. So, I mean, look at the facts and figures, number one. I think that's extremely important. Number two, again, when we're talking about stimulus, there are things that we can do, i.e. the tax structure, that can really gin up some. And our own CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, that looks at what's happening in the Congress. It is a nonpartisan, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter who you are. They look at exactly what the bills are doing, and they have said that only 10% of this money over the next 2 years can actually be spent toward stimulus. So, you know, don't believe me, believe the Congressional Budget Office, and read the bill, look at the facts and the figures.